Welcome back to Power BI Snippet Viz series, video number 1. In today's video, we will see how to build a bar chart. And in our video, we are going to see how to work with bar charts and how many bar charts are defaultly available in Power BI Desktop visualization. When I normally go to bar chart, so very often used charts in any analytical logic is bar chart and column charts. We now and then touch pie charts, but in today's world, dashboard definitions or sharing a dashboard becomes a highlight of your career, or whenever you send a report, you may not give the routine bar chart and column chart on a regular basis, so you have to change the way in which you provide your charts differently. So when you are going to work in a normal Excel file, so in a normal Excel file we have 15 different varieties of charts and one combo chart comes into play, wherein when I work with the dimension here, this is elaborated furthermore better in our Power BI Desktop, where we have 34 visualizations here. So as I told you here, today we are going to see two kinds of a bar chart. One is a bar chart which is called staked bar chart. Another one is a cluster bar chart. So cluster bar chart and staked bar chart are the two components that we're going to see today. So I'm not going to go too deep into all the data additions and other components here, but I'll touch the Power BI import of data and all those components ready for us. So today I'm going to take a clean data into our list. So I'm going to take up get data, and from an Excel sheet I'm going to pull the data inside. I can either use a get data function here to import the data inside, or I can use the add data to your report sheet icon also to get the data done. So I'm going to import the data from Excel. So you have 4 different dimensions of data that I can pull inside using the canvas here, that is called import data from Excel, import data from SQL Server, paste data from a blank table, and try a sample data. I'm not going to use a try a sample data. I'm going to pick up a data which I already have with me. I'm going to use import data from Excel. I'm going to click the import data from Excel. So I have already kept a raw data for my list. So when I click this raw data, that shows a big list here. So I have a tabulated tabular column of data that I have here. So I'm going to take one of the data that I have with me. And in this data, you can see the following data type that we have here. So we have an invoice number coming up here. We have a date, and we have a region, sales rep, customer, product, purchase and sales. So I'm going to just, it's a clean data, so I don't want to transform them or do the ETL, extract, transform or load processing here. I'm going to directly load the data and started working with my bar charts. When you click the load data, automatically you can see that the data is going to be loaded here. And on the right hand side of your field list, you will see once the data are loaded completely, you can see them all in here. So now the data are getting loaded, and I'm bringing only one table into consideration, so I'm not going to use a star schema of data here. So I'm just bringing in a singular data here with multiple columns in it. When I deal with the bar chart, so you have to understand how the charts are going to work for us. So if you know how to work with the formats, if you know how to work out with the analytics, and if you can able to play around with the data properly, and you can even do a lot of things here. So what do you want to add, what do you want to show to the audience will play a major role. So are they going to use the drill down option to go to the next level of data, or you're going to show one particular bar chart, and probably you can bring in 2 different varieties of bar chart when you compare data with one another. So once you have given the data into this, once the data are inside the list, you can see the data are available on the field list, and you can see that all the data are properly governed here. You can see that I have text files or text data are coming up in this way, and you have a date field here, and you have a summation or number field here. If you want to know more about these dimensions, so you can see the data point, how the data are built here. So I can go back to my data view here, and then you can see the entire data coming up here. I showed a preview of data that my data starts on the 1st of January 2015. And I'm going to show you what is the last data that I have in my list here. My last data that I have in here is 30th of April 2021. So I'm starting with an 18th of April here. So that again, the invoice numbers are jumbled here. So I'm going to sort them up. So I'm going to click the invoice number here, and I can sort the data according to the invoices here. So we can do the sorting part here. So I'm going to sort the numbers here in ascending order. So automatically the numbers will be ascending order here. So you can start with the 1st of January 2015. So when I click this, you can see the drop down comes into play. The filter option will show you the entire dimension of data that we have here. So when I scroll down to the last line, it shows until the September 2017 here, but my data goes much beyond that. So I have a data until 30th of April 2021. So I have a set of data here. So I'm going to come back to my visualization screen here, and you can see I have even a component here called model. So these are the 3 dimensions that we are going to use in our list. So as I'm going to work with the bar charts here, so I'm going to start with the first bar chart. The first bar chart that I have here is staked bar chart. When I click this, you can see that how the visualization is going to pop up. You can see a sample or a grayed out background that shows here. When I add the staked bar chart here, you can see the first line that comes in here called fields, and the second one that comes in here called format. The third one comes here as analytics. So as I have a blank field here, so you can see that I have an axis, I have a legend, I have a value, I have a tooltip coming up here. I can use a drill through options either by a cross reporting, or I can use a keep all filters here. When I come back to the format, as I didn't add any data here, you can see the following dimension comes into play. Once I add the data, the screen will become a little different, because you will see a lot more dimension than this. Then when I go to the visualization, so analytics component, so you don't see much here. As I add the data, you can see them all. So I'm going to add a simpler data first so that I can understand the data better. So in the dynamic data component, I want to get one bar chart where I have a lot of customers coming up here. So I'm going to say customer wise sales here. So when I click the customer wise sales here, automatically you can see that all my customers are coming up in this list. So when I come back to my first line where we can see the fields that I have an axis here, I have the sales value comes in here. So when I place the cursor on top of any one of the axes, you can see the sales, customers and sale are coming up here. Now I want to add one more dimension here, that is called I want to add these numbers onto the right of my chart. To do that, I'm going to go back to my second icon called format, and now you can see there is a lot more coming up here. So I'm going to add a data label here. So when I add the data label gives you a small information here. But again, if you want to see even more bigger dimension, or you want to raise the font size, you can do that by just clicking the data label here. You use your drop down and you can choose the color of the data label and the display units what you want to show here. It shows by default as millions here. So if you want to specify a million here, or you can say billion, trillion and thousands and anything that you want to do, you can do that. So I'm going to just use the font size alone in this list. So I'm going to make them 12 and give an enter. So now you can see them very clearly. If you want to change the point of the data better, so I can just change this to a none. So that's going to show you the entire valuation here, and you can see that the data label is auto adjusting because the current bar is a little bigger than this. If the data comes outside the bar, it may not show the data clearly. Now you can see them very clearly that it is automatically adopting to the data part here, and then it shows the dimension here. And if you want to position them, so you can position them either inside end, so that all of them will be in one uniform, or you can say in outside end. But again, outside end, some data will be a little crampy to see it, and inside center. So this is going to give you a data much more clarity in it, and you can set up an inside base here. So that's going to come on the leftmost part of your screen. So you can set up all of them list here. Probably I would like to do them on inside end will be a nice one. So I can see them very clearly. And now I want to change the display unit to thousands here. So that shows the thousands values here, and I can set them into millions. So that's going to give you without a decimal portion here, because when I pick up the decimal portion here, that's going to give you an auto here. So if you want 2 decimal portions here, you can add them up here. So that's up to you to decide how do you want to show up the data here. And this is how the formatting works on the data point. And if you want to change the colors here, you can pick up the color. The colors have become very good right now. So after April edition of Power BI updates, the colors have become better. So choose the color wisely, because you cannot kill the colors here. So you have to be much more better in color options, so you can pick up a darker color or a better color to show up the data better. So what do you want to see or what do you want to show here, you can show them here. So I'm trying to pick up purple here, so I'm taking the dark purple here. So let me just reduce the font size or the bar chart size a little smaller. So now I got the list. So now I want to change this bar chart to from a staked bar chart to a cluster bar chart. To do that, I'm going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to say copy and paste this one more time. Then you can see automatically I have the second option coming up here, typically like our normal office applications. And instead of a staked bar chart, I'm going to just change this to a cluster bar chart. So there won't be a big difference when it comes to the bar charts here. So both of them looks like, but again, when I have a comparison data comes in place here, that's where my cluster column chart or cluster bar chart will play a major role. So when I add a product here to my data list, you can see that it is going to give you the breakup of the list here. So but if I add the same to my products to my staked bar chart, you can see that the differences here. So it's going to give you a different dimension altogether. So I don't preferably use the multiple dimensions in the bar charts, because sometimes it will be a little odd to find out. So I'm going to just uncheck these dimensions. So when I normally bring one dimensional data, I can work around with them betterly. So now I can just change this to customers to a product. So now it's give you, this formatting is not changing, only the valuation is changes here betterly. And you can see the top product comes on top, the bottom products comes on the bottom, and you can sort these charts better. So I can just sort them by using the 3 dots on top. So here you can see that it is giving you an ascending and descending order. So when I say descending order, the data is going to be the other way around, and I can even sort them. Now the sorting is happening based on the sale value. I can do it by the customers here, so that you can see that the sortings of data are coming in a different way. The same way I can do the sorting by the products here. So now we can see a chart a little differently. And again, this is in the dimension of descending order. I'm going to convert this into an ascending order so that it will give you the dimension like I saw earlier. But again, earlier it showed by the sale values breakup. Now it's showing me the data by the alphabetical order of it, or the product wise sales or customer wise sales. And I can set the headers here to the center part of the data. So to do that, I'm going to just come back to the format again and come to the title here, and the title I'm going to make them in the center. So if you want to make a specific term to it, so I can say instead of sale by product, I'll say product sales turnover. So I can rename them whatever I want here. So it is up to me what I want to add in this dimension. So the same way I made it in center. So if you want to make a little bigger, so you can just make the font size to 20 and then give an enter. So you can see that the font size or the headings are coming in the middle. So I can do the same even in this list, and I'm going to say customer turnover, and then change the font to 20 and then make them into the center. So now you can see that I have the 2-dimensional data that I can normally deal with the list. We have a lot more data dimension here. If I can able to show them all in this basic idea, it will be very good. But again, I'm just showing you a very simple idea of how to use a bar chart here. So what are the basic components that you have to remember when you are using with a bar chart? So play around with your data. For example, now I'm seeing the customer name on the left hand side and the turnover on the right. When I place the cursor, I want to see which region the sales have been done. I want to see that region here. So then I can do one thing, I can drag that region to the tooltip here. So it is giving you the first region alone, but again I cannot use the first region alone here. So when I use the tooltip here, so I have to use the tooltip in a much better point. So when I try to add a sales rep, again it's going to show you the first sales rep alone. So it's not going to show all of them here. So it's going to show you only one sales rep in the entire list. So where we are going to use the tooltip better, we'll see that as we go forward. If you want to add a color, so I want to see the regional breakup here, then I can just add a regional breakup in my legend here, so that it's going to color out to you differently. So I have 5 different regions here. So it starts with Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, Trichy and Tirunelveli, and you can see the sales are broken. The entire sales is not anymore shown here. It is showing you the breakup here, but unfortunately I'm not able to see all of the data here because the screens are very small here. So let me just undo this option. Let me take this region out of the equation. Now I'm going to copy this customer turnover, add a new page to our list, and paste the bar chart to the new page. Now I'm going to make the chart a little bigger so that I can see the entire dimension better. So now if I add multi-dimensional data, I can see them really very clearly. So I'm going to put them to the whole page and then add the region to my legend field. So now we can see that earlier I couldn't able to see the final data part into the list, and you can see that right now I can see the breakup of each and every state here. So when I place the cursor on top, you can see the overall sales that we did in this dimension, and you can see that it is showing you what is the value for each and every. When I place the cursor on the point, you can see that it is showing you the values of sales very clearly here. So if you want to add something else, you can definitely add them here. So this is the way I can build another point also. Now I want to see the same component in the product point, so I'm going to click the product point, copy it and add it to a new sheet and paste it here. And now I'm going to make them a little bigger and then add the region to my legend. Then I can see now I'm using a different chart altogether. I'm not using the staked bar chart, I'm using the cluster bar chart. So when I use a staked bar chart, you can see this dimension here. If I'm using a cluster bar chart, it's going to show the data differently. So now I'm going to come back to my format, and you can see that the data label addition is not really going well. So I'm going to switch it off and switch it on again, and you can see that it is showing you a very different logic. So it's not showing me the data part here very clearly, so I cannot use the data bar here effectively. So this is going to show you the data part once I place the cursor on top of our list. But what I want is I want to see the data bar, whether I can able to add data bar. So I'm going to just add a data label here, but it says that there is an error here, so it cannot show you the data bar. So you have to make the data even better to show the data, but again you can see that this is added into a list, but it's not able to show the entire data bar because of the data's availabilities are more here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make them look a little better, so that if I want to see the data bar work here effectively. So I'm going to add a slicer to my data, and when I add a slicer, I'm going to add a product here. So now my products will show this list, and you can make the slicer settings also in the same pattern. So I'm going to make the slicers size to 14, and you can see them better, and I'm going to make the header of the slicer also 14 here, or maybe 16, so it will be a little better. So now I'm going to punch the 16 or the Apple 6 Plus. Now we can see the data bar coming correctly. Now we can see that the data labels are available for me. So when I choose the dimension here, I can see each and every one of them clearly. But if I put them all in one shot, I may not be able to see the data label clearly here. Only on filter options I can see them to the point. So I can see that I have few data. I'm trying to add 4 or 5 products here. So until 4 products, it's showing me the data bar very clearly. And again, my data bar doesn't have the decimal portions here, so that's why it shows the data part differently here. So when I try to add a cluster bar chart, so cluster bar chart will be very different here. So when I try to add data label, the data label may not be able to show here very clearly because I have too much of data to work around here. Now I can add one more dimension also here, so that I can show the data completely. So let me add one more slicer to my list. So let me click outside the canvas, add a slicer, so it gives you a slicer onto a screen. So I'm going to make them a little smaller so that I can add what I exactly want. Then I can set up the point. I'm going to add the region here. Then in the format bar, I'm going to just come back to my item header, so I'm going to make this as 16 points, and in the item line items I'm going to add them into 14 points. So now the data looks a little good, so now I'm going to just adjust it. I'm not showing the slicer detailedly yet, so when I click Chennai here, then you can see that the difference will be very obvious. So when I add a Chennai application, so you can see almost all of them are coming up except one line item here, because it's not able to show the values here. So then we need to do the format adjustments here. So now I can literally change the dimensions here. So when I click it here, the data labels are showing up here. So let me make it as maybe a 10. So when I make a 10 here, I can see that, but still my data are showing a 0 million values here, because I don't have the decimal portion coming up here. But still I can see the data completely here when I reduce the size of the data. So when I choose Coimbatore, and you can see that again the colors are varying here because the regions are very different here. So you can see them all coming up here very clearly. So if I try to add Apple 6, and when I pick up Coimbatore, I can see them very clearly, that how much I have. If I want multiple place to be shown, so I can see them all in here very clearly. So when you use a bar chart, so if I use a staked bar chart, that's going to give you a data better, because even if I have multiple dimension comes into play, it won't really bother much. But again, it'll be too tough to read the data better. But when I go for a clustered bar chart allows you to handle the data better and shows you which particular region is better here. So when I clear this, when I pick up one data, it shows all the data label for me betterly. But when I show all the data, my data label will not be displayed here because of the data point is more. So I cannot able to use a staked bar chart effectively here. So this is how we use bar charts in Power BI visualization. So I've touched a little bit of data. I know I didn't touch every aspects of bar chart yet. So we'll be seeing in our next video how to use each and every dimension better. How do I try to bring all the data or dump a lot of data into one screen and make the data work effectively. Hope you learned something new today. So how to use a bar chart. Today we touched two kinds of bar chart. The first bar chart is staked bar chart. The next one is a cluster bar chart. I'm sorry about that. Cluster bar charts are the two different varieties. We saw how to work with them effectively in a normal case, where I just try to add only one condition here, and that showed my data really very well. And then I changed the colors. The colors are become a little better in Power BI Desktop right now after the April 2021 version. So we have a lot more color to play around with it. And in the second page, I try to add more than one dimensional data to my list on the staked and the cluster bar charts. When I go for cluster bar charts, my data label is not visible when I have too much of data. When I have a lesser data, I can able to do them better. So with this, I'll end our session of the first charts on the series of Power BI Desktop snippet, video number 1, and we'll be seeing more of these data. So what I gave you is a basic idea. You can go through this furthermore. You can use all the other options that we have in our format options, where we have titles, we have filters, and we have a lot more available in our list. But we will not end our dimension with this, because this is just a kickstart. I'm going to use all these charts to the best possible way to build a Power BI dashboard here, and I'll show you how to publish them into a Power BI services and make use of them to the best possible way possible by us. This is Vinod signing out from Power BI snippet this series, video number 1. Hope you enjoyed a new video today. So I'll be adding a lot more video. I'm trying to add all the 34 different visualizations in a span of next 14 days. Hope I'm going to do a lot of videos, at least 34 videos after this. With this, I'll sign out. Vinod, take care guys, stay home, stay safe, mask it up, maintain social distancing, and try to stay indoor to avoid COVID for some more time. So we are all fighting together. Let's kick this COVID out of our country. Thank you so much.